And now the end is here, and so we face Barnsley. Different to what you've heard it as before, probably. Yes, that's right. Our final episode of the season this season, and it's been a productive season. It won't surprise you to know that we're 12th. We are slap bang in the middle of the division, and since we last met in some of our games, it's been a testing time. So since the Brighton and Forest matches, a massive defeat, a 6-2 defeat to West Ham, they stuck it up us. Smith got sent off, which is a shame. He missed a couple of games because of it as well. So Sheffield United, we got beat. Wolves easily beating their top of the table, running away with it. And then finally a 3-0 win against Birmingham, Altidal with 2, Pat Rogers with 1 as well, and those two will be starting up top for us today as Tom George has got an injury. So let's show you the league table then. As you probably expected to see, we're not challenging for the playoffs, but I think as a first season, as far as things are concerned from my end, this has been a success. If you look at the season preview, at 22nd, we are 10 places better than that, and yeah, I mean, we can still finish 13th if things... No, we don't want to finish 13th. Look, do the job today, get the performance we're looking for today, get a win today, and we will stay in 12th position, which I think as a first season, as I say, is perfect, and it's lots to build on, and the likelihood is we'll finish higher than that next season if we make the right additions, so that's something to look forward to. So let's waste no time, let's look into the Barnsley game and then focus on a few things, look at a few bits and pieces, just so you can see, we'll do some comparison stuff, look at some team stats compared to the rest of the division. So do you think, actually, this season we have massively overperformed, not just in terms of position, but I think the players as well have played fantastically. When you consider them compared to some of the rest, I want to compare the wage bill of us and West Ham. It's a treat, believe me. It's worth staying just for that. You wait and see. They're playing a 4-4-2 system then, and yeah, everyone has changed ethnicity. Everybody. Okay, Football Manager. I mean, you pick and choose. All right, we've been fantastic all season. Let's get out there and do it. I'm just realised I didn't run you through the team. We could do that now. MC Clark will be in goal. Still got an injury to Gary Davies. Cockrell, Moller, Edmund, McLean and Wolfenden at the back. Smith plays just behind McDonald and Foster, in which we'll actually switch those two around. Colton plays behind Pat Rogers and Altidal, and the bench is relatively strong. Might see Mohamed Awusu today. This could be his last game for the club. You never know. But I'd like to get him involved if we can. I just realised we didn't put Christy Clark-Slocum on the bench. He'll be fine. Now, Barnsley are bottom of the table. They can't do it. They're relegated. It's over for them. So I fully expect them to win about 4 or 5-0 today. So let's look forward to it, viewers. Let's enjoy the statistical anomaly. It's a corner to us there. McDonald plays it in, not that smartly, but does get it back after a pretty poor clearance, to be fair. Lawrence Smith, Colton. It's the final day. Can we use something magical? I mean, a shot's going in from outside. It hasn't happened. But the Riverbank, hopefully, you know, lots of people have turned up for the final game of the season. That's often the case. People get excited, you know. Summer's coming up. Nice weather. So, come on. It's wet in 13, I've just noticed there. Oh, blimey. Not nice weather at all. Umbrella weather. I like the idea it just says wet. Like everything's wet. Everything you touch is wet. Oh, this seat's wet. Oh, everything's handlebars wet. Everything's wet. They've had an injury on 34, which has livened up this first half, to be honest. Yeah, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening. 43 minutes gone, and we might actually see a highlight as Pat Rogers and Altidal look to combine. Well, not a combination. So at half-time, it's 0-0. A thriller, viewers. I mean, we're pleased this is happening. I thought I'd only do the one game because, do you know what, let's bollock them a little bit. I thought we'd just do the one game because, let's face it, we were always going to be a mid-table side. It was quite clear we weren't going to be pushing for the playoffs. Although I will say, the battle for if West Ham start to falter today, that playoff battle could get very interesting. Loads of teams behind them on differing points. As Altidal finds Rogers, can't quite find the back of the net, plays it back across, Rogers keeps it in. I mean, could there be another chance for us here? I mean, we're working it quite patiently. McDonald goes all the way back out to Wolfenden. Is there going to be a moment of magic for us? Maybe. McDonald into Colton now as we start to shift it forward a little quicker. Altidal's there, back to Foster, and was that it? Was it? Oh no, it's a Barnsley chance as Plummer scores. Good. Well, we've got a leaky defence, so it's a good job he's turned up. Shut up, Ben. Last episode was joke heavy, so I'm not sure we should have quite as many jokes. 4,000 fans have packed in. I mean, they're not all ours. 2,800 though. That's not bad. That's 700 people that aren't season ticket holders, that aren't obliged to be here. All right, we're going to go slightly more attacking as we've got a chance, because why not? As we were a goal down, we've got to try and react somehow. In the midfield, I've got to try and create Colton. He's got a lethal front two with Rogers and Altidal. Cockrell Mollett now on that side. Back into McDonald. Stevie Foster. Forward. Pass. Oh, it should have been a goal. 56 minutes gone, and the second half is making up for the lack of highlights in the first half. Barnsley, though, with some possession. And are they going to make it 2 here? Plummer again. Ball towards the back post. And someone's Nan scored. And Nan, I think it is. And Anna scored. Emmanuel Annan. This has been a very underwhelming and disappointing end to the season. Owusu's coming on. Owusu for Rodgers, because why not? And I'll bring Andy Murray on. He's got to prepare for Wimbledon. You know, it's a big summer for him. Free kick. Smith puts it in. Edmund's there. Foster, shot and goal. Oh, it's found its way in. It might have hit Edmund as it went through, but Foster's claiming it. And we could be back in this game. Who knows? It's been very underwhelming, and they've scored 2 goals from basically nothing. It's headed down by Edmund, actually. Foster, great first touch, and then I think it hits the defender, actually, into the back of the net. Steve Foster's going to be delighted with that. People won't know this, and I'm going to let you in behind the curtain a little bit. If anyone's watched the BBC show Line of Duty and have seen Steve Arnott, I picture Steve Foster to be Steve Arnott. So just thought I'd share that with you. I don't know why I do it. I like that programme, and they're both called Steve, and it works. Owusu, he's at the post. It could have been magical. All right, 3.5 minutes left to go in the game. Will there be a final opportunity as the ball's put towards Altidal, who's just movement has outfoxed somebody? Steve Foster on it now. If you can find the perfect pass, he can. Coulson, it should be. We should not be losing this. 90 seconds. Can we wrestle this back? So we're going to lose to the bottom of the table on the final day of the season and still stay in 12th. 20 seconds. It's going to have to be now, or we're all going to go home crying. As we're still trying to work it. It's not happened. And the curtain comes down then on our first season in the Championship, and as I say, it was a good season. Not too much cup activity to speak of, apart from that big defeat to Liverpool. And I've bleep it up is what I've done. Well done me. Great team talk. So have a nice holiday, boys. They all look switched off. So, something to remember me by if they're here next season. But to be fair, to finish 12th after getting promoted from League 2 to League 1 to the Championship is nothing short of a miracle. You should be very proud of it. West Ham scrape into the playoffs. And let's do some comparison. Let's talk through who the top performers were this season. And as I say, we're going to compare our wage bill to West Ham's. It's fantastic. It's a genuine thing to look forward to. All right, so appearances. It might surprise you, actually, because I feel like in this series, he's gone very much under the radar. But Barry McDonnell has had the most appearances for us this season. He's been here for a couple of years. He's been in and around the squad. He's had quite a few substitute appearances. Like last season, 10 substitute appearances. Before that, 6. This year, played 43 games and started every single one of them. Should be proud of his performance. A 7.17, his best season in a Thames shirt. When you look at what he's done before, it's a little bit surprising, but, you know, I mean, Sheffield United will be ruining the fact they let him go. Robbie Edmund had a fantastic season as well, as did Mark McLean. Those two as a centre-back duo. We brought them in just as that. And Robbie Edmund, of course, is here again with us next year. He's getting very good. Thank you to West Brom for that. McLean, we may well try and coax back again for another season. Oh, no, we can't. He's joining Hamilton. Brilliant news. I mean, I'm upset about that. Also, again, 37 appearances this season. Not too bad when you consider the step up he's had to make recently has been astronomical. Pass completion-wise, Keon Harris and Norris Smith sitting at the base of that diamond. They tend to do the best work, or even in the 4-3-3, of course. Very similar position for them. Doesn't change too much. Goals per 90 minutes. Josh Tipping. Bit surprising. Came in at the start of the season, did really well. 9 goals in 8 starts, 12 substitute appearances, but really good from him. Tom George also scored quite a lot of chances. In terms of chance creation, Ben Cousins, when he plays, not so often this year, he's had a bit of a backseat role, has done a pretty good job, as has Pat Rodgers, actually, since he's come into the team. So goals-wise, let's get to it. Tom George and Altidal, 20 for George, 18 for Altidal. Certainly found it a lot tougher this season in the Championship, and yeah, assists, the two of them as well, up there with it. Paul Coulson just behind Adam Beard, getting some from that left-hand side as well. Steve Foster had a bit of an underwhelming year, only 5 goals and 1 assist for him. In terms of minutes played, I mean, it's pretty much the same as appearances, but it is interesting to see like how many more minutes he's played than the majority of the squad. So that top 3 have played quite a lot, and then after that there's quite a big drop off where we've used a lot of rotation. Average ratings, Altidal tops it, 7.31. He was in the top 3 in the Championship and stays there as well. For the entirety of the season, 15 assists up there too for him. Fantastic stuff. And as we come back to this screen, I've teased it. This is fantastic. So on team details, in terms of possession, by the way, 4th in the Championship in terms of possession. Very, very good, if you ask me. I'm very pleased with that. Headers won, 14th, disappointing. Cross completion, we're pretty halfway up as well. Goals from direct free kicks. I can't remember who was actually scoring one. I mean, that is wrong, innit? There's something wrong there with the game this year. That's so little direct free kicks. Goals from corners, though, 11. I'm a bit annoyed. Highest attendance then, West Ham, 60,000 is their highest attendance. Average of 47,000, actually. If you go to the average, you can see West Ham up there. We're not on the first 80. We're right down there. My face might be in the way there, but it's 75%. It's not great, I'm not going to lie to you. In terms of capacity as well. I mean, we're selling a lot of the seats that are in the ground, 75% of them, but I mean, Bolton and Cardiff, Birmingham, Newcastle, they should all be ashamed of themselves. Well, net spend, we actually made 83,000, so that's not bad at all. Crystal Palace, for example, spent 35 million, or that was just their net. And now, salary per annual, this is fantastic. West Ham, £74 million. West Ham. £74 million. Again, I'll move my face. Just slide me across a minute. If you go down, Thames, just under 3 million. 3 million. It's a modern miracle. I mean, considering we finished 12th, that's pretty remarkable, I would say. Brighton, by the way, finished 19th. That is piss poor. That's actually really bad. But hopefully we can raise up this a little bit. Obviously enhance our reputation as well. A full season in the Championship now. Surely players will note that, will they? Hopefully they will. And that's going to bring us to next season then, which should be quite exciting. Lots of rebuilding to do. Leave in the comment section what do you think we should do. New goalkeeper, perhaps necessary. Certainly right back and left back areas of note as well, and maybe a new centre back to go alongside Robbie Edmund. So lots to work on. I think the central midfield area also needs a new star in there, maybe a foreign talent that we can bring in. And up front, Tom George will be here for another season. We might get Pat Rogers back, and of course Alderweireld will still be here doing his business. So if you've enjoyed the season, do leave a like, and if you're enjoying the series, do so too. And from me, until next time, I'll see you again very, very soon. We love with care. Goodbye.